welcome to episode 8 of Past, Present and Pointless. I'm your horrible host, Alex Carter. With me again is my co-horrible host, Leyonie Chambers.
Thanks, Alexander.
Oh,
great intro as always.
Most welcome. Are you ready? Excited for today's episode?
Yes, I'm very
It's been about a week since we've done episode 7, so let's get straight into it, eh? Okay, let's start with the first movie we watched this week. It's called Greenland. It stars Gerard Butler. I'll give you the quick rundown here. So, John Garrity, his estranged wife, and their young son embark on a perilous journey to find sanctuary as a planet-killing comet hurtles toward Earth. Amid terrifying accounts of cities getting level-led, the Garritys experience the best and worst in humanity. As the countdown to the global apocalypse approaches zero, their incredible trek culminates in a desperate and last-minute flight to a possible safe haven.
Can I just start by saying, doesn't the title of the film make you automatically assume that it's filmed and located in Greenland?
In Greenland.
Yeah.
And then the sequel's going to be Iceland. But that one takes place in the store. In the shop.
When there's a bunker.
And Gerard Butler's there. Quick, we gotta get all these pallets out quickly.
Well, Liam Neeson's there as well.
Yeah. They sound similar.
They cross over in Taken, that's what happens.
Yeah. Quick trivia point about this movie before we review it. So Chris Evans was actually set to play instead of Gerard Butler.
Oh, was he?
And it was actually supposed to be the director of District 9 and Elysium.
I quite like District 9. I'm not sure about Elysium. It's a bit of a... I think that film was a good idea in theory, but it just didn't pan out.
Yeah.
But
District 9 was pretty good.
It was a really good film.
It was a very different movie than what we'd seen before for that time. I think the animation, the CG was quite good as well for the robots.
It was, to be fair. It was quite realistic.
Yeah. Didn't he do that other one as well?
Who, Chris Evans?
No, the director of District 9. He did that Chappie.
Oh yeah, I really like
thing.
that one.
Did you? Yeah, I haven't seen that one actually.
You haven't seen it?
I think I've seen it in bits. Possibly.
Oh my gosh, are you saying that I have seen a movie that Movie Man hasn't?
Before Movie Man. Yes, this is a bit weird.
I'm on the edge of my seat.
So back to the Greenland movie. Thoughts on the movie?
Can I just say, do you think Chris Evans would have made a more commanding role, or do you think Gerard Butler's got that kind of like
he's got that
manliness and like
that
take charge attitude? Do you feel like you'd have got that from Chris Evans? Obviously Captain America, I know we get that.
I think you would have just seen Captain America
maybe
as a dad.
That's weird,
because how Gerard Butler perceives it is he's played a few roles before where he's been a dad or a husband trying to help. So that's why they probably chose him, so he's good for that role. Not
necessarily just that, but I feel like he's been in some roles, like, he's been quite a tough man, like, he's, like, doesn't take shit and everything like that, which is kind of the same vibes that you got from that film. And that's kind of how you view him. Mm-hmm. Whereas, obviously, like, you view Chris Evans as this really nice, like, heroic guy.
Yeah, exactly. Heroic. Well, I suppose they probably could have done it, but he was supposed to play the guy with the director directing. The original director, before we changed it.
So the guy directing was like, the only way I'll direct this movie is if Chris Evans is in it. Yeah. And then once he was cut, it was like, well, that was
I kind of don't want to do it
Chris, anymore. So bad news. We lost the director and he's the only one that wanted you, so I'm sorry, you're a cut.
We're going to have to go with somebody else.
I'm now going to have to go back in time to be with my girlfriend because I can't be in his present day right now.
So anyway, back to the movie in question. We felt like it was a good idea. I mean, you know, your natural disaster movies, so like 2012 or
Day After Tomorrow.
I really like that one. What other ones have there been? Disaster movie. Independence Day. Then there's Independence Day Resurgence.
War of the Worlds. That's kind of
War of the Worlds.
Bit of Trustfalian there, but it's all the end of the world kind of thing, isn't it?
So your disaster movies / apocalypse movies, it was on the same path and the same direction as those. It was very similar and it felt a very familiar presence.
Do you feel like, though, like what you've got from the past in kind of disaster movies is you kind of get those points in the film where it's kind of like lots of destruction happening. It's like you're going, oh my god, how are they going to survive this? But I didn't really get that from Greenland. Like, they said that this thing was like a really bad
it was like the
comet
worst
or whatever.
comet.
It's gonna destroy everything.
It
And
was
then you
just gonna eat
saw-
the world.
And then you saw that one hit, didn't you? Everyone was watching on TV and everything, blah
Yeah.
blah blah, whatever. And it was apparently super devastating, but we didn't actually get to see the place it devastated. Like we saw like an overview, didn't we, of like above it, like on a geographical map, but we didn't actually see the actual the place itself. You know, like they went. So in disaster movies, they go back to the place, don't they? And they pan over with like a helicopter kind of camera, and you see like the buildings on fire and like destroyed and things like that. But you didn't really see that in Greenland. It was kind of like, oh, it's really bad. We promise you, it's super bad, but we're not going to show you any of it.
We're not going to show you actually any of it.
We're just going to tell you it's super bad. We're going to tell you it's going to kill the planet, but we're not going to show you.
Just believe us, okay?
Just take it as our word.
Take a word for
Take
it.
us word for it. We've seen the end of a rainbow. Unicorns are real. Believe. Just believe it.
Well, I think the energy in the movie and how the action was displayed was very good.
I think the only things that carried the movie, in my opinion, were the two main characters.
Was Gerard Butler
That's
and the mother.
The son was really annoying. You could have got a better actor there. There wasn't enough action in the movie itself. Because when you're going to think of it this way, right, you know, when you've got in slashers and horrors and thrillers, you've got those key points in the film, like someone's dying, this is happening, and it's kind of grips you into the movie. Whereas with a disaster movie, the whole point in that kind of movie is you're supposed to see the disaster. That's what grips you into the movie.
Yeah.
And it didn't.
Or see at least what caused it.
And can we just explain?
You do see it happen, you see a smaller version of that later on in the movie.
You see one scene of it. Yeah. When Gerard Butler's in the car with his family,
and that's actually shown in the trailer as well.
Yeah, and so you could have watched all the disaster scenes are in that trailer, and that's it.
And what annoyed me was that about 45 minutes into the movie, they'd gotten to the parents' house, her dad's house.
Oh yeah.
And he's just there like, oh, I'm absolutely fine, just playing cards with my mates.
I'm just gonna die. It's fine.
Just drinking whiskey or whatever, or scotch, and then they're absolutely fine. Even though the end of the world's happening, he's still being a dick to his son-in-law. Yeah. And he's like, even though he's gone to the extreme lengths to save his wife that they were thinking of separating, he's got them there safe to her dad's house. I thought that was going to be the end of the movie. And I was like, oh my god. I was like, oh right, god, I felt like I've been watching this for ages because I wasn't so excited about watching it. Yeah. I felt like it was at the end of the movie, and I checked the timeline. I was halfway through the movie. I'm like, what could they possibly do else?
And don't you think
what are they going to do now?
Don't you think it's really stupid as well? Like how they made a big deal about her son. Sorry, spoilers. Made a big deal about their son getting kidnapped by those two people.
Oh yeah.
And that was so traumatic. And you're like, oh my god, how are they gonna get him back? And I thought it was going to be like a race to the airport, but it wasn't. They pretty much got to the airport, got denied because the son said something, and then they were automatically just pushed to one side, and then he was in the tent, and she appeared, and then he was there.
Yeah.
And you're like, what? So there was no fight to get through. There was no adrenaline to try and get your son back. It was just oh, he's waiting for you in a tent. Don't worry about it. We've got him. It's fine.
Yeah.
And it didn't really explain where did those people go? Did they get rid of them? Did they let them on? We didn't actually see.
Yeah. So the boy actually he shouted, didn't he?
That's not my parents. I don't know who they are. That's Michael Jackson. Jokes.
And then he got safely put in one of those white tents, didn't he, with that nurse?
Don't you think?
And then Mum came and found him.
All the people, the army people and everything that were getting people on planes and stuff like that and that sort of stuff out, they were very calm considering the fact that not hardly any of them were going to get on the planes and they're going to be safe, were they?
Yeah, they were really calm, weren't they?
Do you think in a real situation that people would be that calm?
No, probably not.
You think that they all knew where the bunkers were.
Mm-hmm.
Why would they not try and go? That's what I didn't understand.
True.
I just don't think that's very real for that bit.
I suppose they were putting other people's lives before theirs.
And don't you think
so
as well?
Being selfless.
It was kind of like a middle finger to everybody when they showed people the bunkers in Greenland at one point in the film. It was not near the end, was it? It was mid-ish point.
Yeah.
And they basically showed everyone where it was. So they either did that for 2 reasons. Well, 3 reasons. They were basically saying middle finger to everyone that can't get in it. They were saying it because a load of planes didn't make it there and they wanted everyone to be able to get there.
Yeah.
Or they kind of was just showing off. Because it was just really stupid, wasn't it? Like, they just showed everyone where it was. And what are the odds that right at the end of the film...
I felt like the second half of the movie just dragged.
Yeah, like... it's like
they
right
dragged it out, just making points about, are we going to be a family after this? Are we ever going to make it?
Well, at that point, when they got to the dad's house, why did they all go to the dad's house? Can I just say, like, why?
Yeah.
What was the point in it?
Yeah.
Because he didn't leave the house. He never intended to leave the house. She got there, he got there. Oh, let's go then. Let's leave right now. Right? He's not coming. So this point in the movie didn't need to be here.
Yeah, exactly.
Just saying.
Yeah.
And, like, they ran to the airport or whatever they were supposed to be, like, going to Greenland or whatever. And they just happened to get there before they took off.
Yeah. And
they just happened to let them on the plane. That
Like,
apparently...
even though they didn't have any room.
That apparently didn't have enough room or whatever.
Or capacity.
And I'm sorry, but that's not how planes work. You can't just be like, oh my god, I've got my rolls, that's it, get on the plane, it's fine. They have to take a certain amount of weight, and it was a cargo plane, so it could only take, a certain amount of weight and people. So it doesn't matter how nice you are, how many morals you've got, it just can't happen. I'm sorry, it just can't. That plane wouldn't have been able to take off or whatever. So they literally got to Greenland, didn't they? And they happened to just get, like, crash just near the bunker. Because they knew exactly where it was. Like, the videos didn't tell you exactly where it was. It just said Greenland. So they happened to find the exact right spot. Yeah. And they happened to land near some army people that could also help them.
Yeah.
And then, I'm sorry, but what was that right at the end? Oh, this is supposed to be a planet killer, so it kills the entire planet. But actually, in fact, you're going to open these bunker doors and it's going to be... everything's going to be destroyed, but it's still there. The planet's still there. You're still fine. And they just wandered out, and I'm like, what? What was that?
It's just full of flaws.
I just don't think... I like the idea of the film, but I just don't think they fully thought it all the way through. It's kind of just like, oh, there's a film. Here you go, Gerald. We've got a film. We're just going to make it up as we go along. Just do it. I'm in.
I don't think it's the greatest of genres to make a movie about anyway, because why would someone want to watch movies that centre around... natural disasters?
I mean, sorry,
thinking,
but...
oh shit, what if that could happen? It's just made me depressed now, this movie.
I'm sorry, but I actually do like natural disaster films.
Wow.
But there's been so many good ones done, it's hard to kind of make a new one that's really good.
Exactly.
I think the best ones that they've had are probably for me is The Day After Tomorrow and... was it War of the Worlds I said before, isn't it?
Yeah. Those
two are kind of the best ones for me.
I just don't really like those movies. They're not my favourite genre.
I think what I like about those films is they're disaster films, but they're to the point of the extreme where, yeah, we think it might happen one day, but it's not going to happen anytime soon. I think that's what I like about those films. Whereas obviously the Greenland one, you think about a comet could hit us at any point. Yeah. So it's kind of real for people.
It's to the point where I love and I hate you.
Okay, out of 10.
4.
4?
Yeah.
Is that bad?
Yeah.
See, I feel like it deserves a good 6, only because I think the idea of the film was good, and I think the acting was good. If you've got Gerald, it was a really good actor. And obviously, I never remember her name, but it's a Deadpool girl.
Yeah.
Whatever her name is, she was a really good actress in it.
No, it wasn't her. Was it?
It was?
I thought it was the woman who played Jean Grey from X-Men.
No.
Was it not?
No.
Was it her from Deadpool?
It was her from Deadpool.
Oh, right, okay.
What film were you watching? I don't know. I had Deadpool in the background. I wasn't sure.
I don't know.
So I feel like it does deserve a 6. I'd say the only time you probably should go and watch it, like, because it wasn't that good, is if you've got no other films to watch and you want an okay-ish film and you're okay with it being a bit long.
Fair. Are you ready for some damn tight impressions for the week? Alright, so first one, considering we've spoken about Big Mouth, I'm going to give the hormone monster a go. Maury. So you ready for this?
Ready.
No, Andrew.
It's so good.
Thanks.
I feel like you've done that on a lot, so that's why it's so good.
Go on, just give it a go. The deepest you can get. Just get really gravel, like. No, not. Don't purse your lips. More. Just open your mouth and just go.
That doesn't sound like those. It doesn't sound like that. Like my mouth.
Andrew. Oh my god, I can't believe this is actually happening.
Shall I do the arm thing as well? Oh my god, it doesn't sound gravelly. Andrew! It doesn't sound.
You sound like an aggressive
I
female
do.
version of it. All right, so
How'd you do the voice thing?
what the voice thing?
How'd you get the gravel in the voice?
You just gotta find it in your throat. Sort of, yeah. Imagine you're getting spit up, but not actually any spit,
Spit.
and just.
Don't do it.
No, this is a disaster. I can't believe this is actually happening to me.
I think you've just, like how in the series, how he's got like a little switch to be more black than and less black and whatever in situations.
Right.
I think you've got the same dial, but it's for like
yeah, on his arm.
Impression man. You've got that dial.
Impression dial.
Yeah.
Dialed up to 11. Alright, second impression. The Emperor Palpatine from Star Wars.
Yes, Darth. The Lord Darth Vader.
This is pretty good.
The ultimate Kylo Ren.
Sort of.
I can't even think how to even do it. I can't even say it.
Kylo Ren.
It's like you're doing this with your voice.
Uh,
Kylo Ren.
Brilliant. Okay, I don't think that was the best impression I could have done.
It was still good though. I felt
Thanks.
like it was good.
Third impression.
Sylvester Stallone.
I love the face that comes with it. The face is the best.
You gotta do what I gotta do.
Do you feel like that makes your impressions better? Do it without the face.
You gotta do what I gotta do.
I see, it doesn't. It's the body movement and the facial
It's the
expressions,
method
everything.
acting.
It is method acting, I'm telling you now.
I tell you now, it's method acting.
Because even then you were full of the face.
Is that the eyebrows you're talking
No.
about? No. I don't
They point more
I don't
down.
know what these eyebrows you're on about.
They point really down.
You're pointing downwards. Okay. You gonna give a go at Sylvester Stallone?
Okay.
Just pretend you're really drunk.
Do you wanna do what you do?
Brilliant. That was great.
That was good. That was like if I was drunk.
That was hilarious.
Go.
Second movie, Boss Level. This stars Frank Grillo and Mel Gibson. It's about a retired Special Forces officer who is trapped in a never-ending time loop on the day of his death. So first off, it felt very video game style.
Yeah, definitely.
It was like almost like a video game came to life, but at the same time,
Getting me kind of vibes of Pixels, the movie.
oh, that was awful. Don't
No, but the vibes
don't
of
start referencing
No,
other
no,
movies
but the vibes
that
of
were actually
like
shit.
the
It
vibes
was a shit
of it.
movie.
Yeah, but the vibes of it, we didn't get video game style. That's what I mean.
Yeah, but that was literally like that. I'd more compare Pixels to Wreck-It Ralph because it's more video game style, whereas this is more of an action movie. There was lots of gore and guts and blood and
Yeah, but it's still video
guns
game
and
style.
swearing
But
in
anyway,
it.
carry on.
It was very much more adult than Pixel was.
I'm not saying it was that. I'm just saying that the same vibe of
I think they're in
video game style.
okay
And that was it.
in the style of how it was shot. You mean
Yeah,
how it was filmed?
that's it. What I meant.
Right. Think about that next time. Then when you make a point like that. God.
Maybe you should just understand my points.
What about for people who are listening and they don't fully understand your points?
I feel like they would get it. You're just being a bit like picky.
Oh, right. Okay. Well, saying that, you were quite picky about the last movie we reviewed.
I had a lot to say about it just because you didn't.
Well, it's because I didn't have a lot to say about it because I just didn't like it that much.
I like to digress.
And I said
the
why I
film.
didn't like it.
Anyway, carry on.
So, I think my negative point about it was there wasn't enough Mel Gibson, and we could have had a longer movie with more backstory on his character as to why he wanted him to not succeed and why he was sending all the people out to kill him. Hence why the woman sent him into the time loop in the first place. It was a bit of a dick move. Spoiler.
She was a very big bitch.
That she was a bit of a dick, sending him into the time loop in the first place.
And he didn't even get any
And she
before
could
he
have
died.
sent him herself.
She could have. It's true.
But maybe she thought that he would survive better than her.
No, I think she's just a huge bitch.
That she was just selfish.
Selfish bitch.
Well, it was a fun movie anyway. It reminded me more of Happy Death Day, but more action. Because
I think
it's still the day of your death.
But I think what Happy Death Day had that this one didn't is you had that kind of mystery of why it was happening, and you actually worked with the person in the film, and she actually figured the whole thing out. You actually understood the whole story of why it was happening to her, how it happened, and then you kind of got the
It was a bit more basic, wasn't it? Whereas they chucked in a few more ideas in this, and that it was actually like a vortex or something.
No, I think the idea of this film was they kind of sat down in a cafe somewhere with a piece of paper, scribbling some ideas down, and think, that sounds really good. Should we explain it? Nah, fuck it. Let's just make the film. And that's kind of how they made the film. Saying
a bit kind of like how video games are made. Then
like it wasn't.
Let's concentrate more on the graphics and style of it,
exactly,
rather than the storyline.
Like the storyline wasn't strong. It was kind of flimsy and weak, and it wasn't really explained very well. And I think the ending for me was complete and total bullshit.
Yeah, it was a bit ironic though that it was very repetitive, because obviously it would be, because he's reliving the same day over and over, but it did get really repetitive.
It did.
It got a little bit too repetitive.
I think the only things that got explained was like the people that were either trying to kill him, but it was kind of really stupid because
I think the main guy as well. Sorry, before you say it, I think the main actor, they could have chose someone who had a bit more range.
Yeah, definitely.
He was very stoic.
Stoic, wasn't he?
Like kind of, a bit
wooden.
A bit wooden. Not wooden, no, just a bit reserved. Like he could get his point across, but like with the bits when he was interacting with his son, playing video games in that store, in that arcade, it didn't look very like fatherly or anything like that.
But I think that was the idea though. I think his character was supposed to be like
show that emotion.
Yeah, he couldn't show emotions very well.
Yeah.
I kind of just think this was a film, like, it could have been way better than it was.
Oh, I really wanted it to be good.
Like, don't get me wrong, it was, I'd say, fun watch just to watch it once, but it's not the kind of film.
It's a short movie. It's an hour and a half, I think.
It's not the kind of film I'd rewatch. It was basically like a worse version of Happy Death Day. I would watch Happy Death Day again, like, multiple times when I have already.
Well, I prefer that. I prefer that more because it's more horror anyway. But then I think the second Happy Death Day 2U went more sci-fi.
Yeah, it did.
Sci-fi comedy.
Yeah. See, then they incorporated kind of a bit like that movie's done in the second one, which made more sense, and it kind of tied in together, and it made it really, really good because they
actually invented that time loop thing, didn't they?
Because they had the base storyline first, and then they had the second one coming after, which kind of tied them together and give you it could have a bit more in it and a bit more sci-fi-ish kind of thing, because you already had that first baseline story, whereas this one tried to shove it all in one film, and it was just kind of, it didn't work. I don't think it worked personally, and I think Happy Death Day just did it better.
Yeah.
So.
Out of 10, boo.
It was a fun watch itself, like just to watch one, but
there was some fun stylized action in it.
I like the idea of like repetitive death and stuff like that, but I just think they just need to think about it more. So I think taking the acting into consideration, and the storyline wasn't very well thought out, and even the ending wasn't like well thought out either. It was just kind of like, oh, I'm going to push you in here. I would have preferred at the ending if he'd have gone into it and then he'd have dissipated, and then we'd have seen him, I don't know, in like the future or the past or whatever. We'd see him in something happen to him, not just nothing. We didn't even see him.
We needed more Mel Gibson.
We didn't even see him disintegrate or anything. It was just like he was just there, and then the movie ended, and you're like, what? And then, anyway. So I'm going to say it deserves a 4.
I'm going to go with a 6 just because of the stylized action and how it felt like a video game. Like I was in it. They could have done some first-person scenes as well. Like he was running around and you could see like you were him. POV, yeah. That could have been so much better.
I just think it disappointed me because I expected it to be better than it was. And that's probably why it only got 4.
So that's called boss level. Nothing boss level about it.
There really isn't. Beginner level. Easy mode.
Life hacks. Everyone loves a good life hack. Okay, first life hack. If something in your oven catches fire, do not open the door. If feeding the flames with oxygen is actually the worst thing you can do. Obviously, if you don't own a fire extinguisher, turn the oven off, leave the door closed until the fire starts to smother itself as the oxygen inside the oven depletes.
So what you're saying is turn the oven off and don't open it. Long story short.
Yeah.
But that's not everyone's immediate reaction, is it? They just need to open it and solve it straight away.
Exactly, that's why I'm telling you a good life hack. Hopefully this never happens to someone, but it's obviously happened to someone in the past that they've felt the need to tell us about the life hack that they found out.
I burnt my
Or
building.
someone's just smart enough.
So I burnt my building down, right? But long story short,
I kept all the windows and
the
doors closed.
oven's okay.
It's fine because I closed the oven door. It's fine.
Yeah, but theoretically, like, how many people actually have in the house a fire extinguisher? It's an American thing, isn't it? Like, no one in the UK really has a fire extinguisher in the house. Do you know anybody that has one? So no one's going to have it, aren't they, to stop a fire? It's always the standard British thing, oh, put a towel over it, smother it down. It's fine. Oh my god, get a jug of water. Larry, get a jug of water. I don't know who Larry is, but...
Larry's from that horror movie that we reviewed.
Don't read his story.
Oh
my god, don't do it.
Hashtag throwback.
Don't even think about it.
Next life hack. Need a sticker or label removing off a product? If you spray it with perfume or a liquid containing alcohol, the alcohol eats at the glue adhesive, allowing for a more clean removal.
Oh, that's cool, because forever things are not getting off properly and they're getting stuck with a little bits in them.
I think that's
Can
a
we
lot
try
of
this
people's
one?
problems, especially
Do you know
more
what?
towards like gift giving if it's got a sticker on it and you don't want people to see the price.
I feel like it's always when you need it for yourself, though, and you need to get it off.
Oh,
And
you
it
just-
never
you wanna
comes off.
You want to keep it for yourself. You're like,
Yeah.
what's going on? And 9 times out of 10, you know, you're going to have some sort of perfume or something with alcohol in around the house. If you don't have cleaning products, you should probably get some.
Also, could you remind me to bring my small shoes next time so we can try that shoe hack?
The wet papers.
Yeah, because
in
I
the
really
shoe.
want to try that.
Fair. We'll do that one, yeah. Yeah, I think we should try that one as well.
If you really like the shoes, but they're sold out in every size except for one smaller, you have to get it. That's the rule.
Next time, we'll make a day of doing life hacks.
Life hacks.
Hashtag life hack day. Okay, third life hack.
Third life hack.
You can stop your own gag reflex by making a fist with your left hand and squeezing your thumb.
Well, am I the first person to say that sounds very naughty? Well, how are we going to try this out?
I don't know, because... Well, I have a gag reflex, but...
Oh, I get it. We can get you to eat banana. There you go, guys.
Just get a banana or a cucumber in my mouth.
Bananas are slightly shorter. I think that would be... Oh, we don't like bananas, do you? Oh, we don't like cucumbers either, though, to be fair. What about a really long carrot?
A butternut squash.
No pun intended. I'd like to know if that works.
Yeah, that's maybe for a different episode. But we will try these life hacks out. And we encourage you to.
Try it on organic substances.
But just be careful with them. Be careful with these life hacks. Don't purposely make a fire.
But we would like to know
And
if
be
some
safe when you're making your gag
if
reflex.
some of them... So we would like to know if some of these work. And if you do have your own mini videos and you want to send us these videos, not the last one, obviously, unless it's a banana, send them us and we'll just post them.
Strap on banana. It just turned to mush.
I bet it did.
Freaky. I want to get freaky, baby. Freaky, baby. Third movie is Freaky.
In case you didn't get that.
It stars Catherine Newton and Vince Vaughn. So it's about swapping...
Freaky Wednesday.
After swapping bodies with a deranged serial killer, a young girl in high school discovers she has less than 24 hours before the change becomes permanent. Damn.
Okay, so the idea of the film was actually really good, and there's been so many types of these kinds of films, and it's hard to make it different, and this one was different, and I appreciate that. But I don't think this 24 hours time limit should have been a thing. I think it should have been
at least
48 hours or 72 hours or something like that.
or a week or something.
No, I think a week maybe too much for this because it was a short movie, so it was kind of pushing there. But I think you could have got everything out and more into it with that weekend. And
Yeah,
and I kind of, I'd have preferred right at the beginning. I liked how it opened up with a kind of gory scene that, but I would have preferred kind of a story to be maybe about him at the beginning, like you had, like they just told the butcher story, whatever. But then I would have preferred like a scene maybe either before the party or after the party, maybe before, because then they could have had sort of the death scene.
Yeah.
Of her and her dad, and she was helping him possibly with the artifacts that he had, and then he was giving her a little story on the knife, whatever. Because that kind of would have give us a little mini story about it and just explains it there.
Yeah.
I get like you saw it a bit later, but it's in every kind of film you get that tiny little story about the object or whatever is mystified.
Yeah.
But you kind of didn't get that here. They kind of just went, oh, look on Google, here you go, here it is. And I just thought, I'd have preferred a little story behind it there.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. So it's actually from the director of Happy Death Day. Coincidentally, we were talking about that just.
True.
It was originally titled Killer Body.
Oh, was it?
And then they changed it to Freaky Friday the 13th.
Oh, that would have been so good. Why did they not keep that?
I don't know. Because
Oh
obviously
my
it's
God.
reminiscent of Freaky Friday, a body swap movie.
Yeah.
As well as
Friday the
a
13th.
slasher movie,
That-
Friday the 13th.
I'm so sad it's not called that.
Before they settled on the title Freaky.
Why did they not call it that? That's so good.
Also, the director wanted a crossover movie franchise with Happy Death Day called Freaky Death Day.
I think because
That would have been better than Boss Level.
because that film was executed so well and the characters and everything in it, I think that joining the films together would have made this one better
Yeah.
because you'd have had that powerful sort of being carried by the first movie and second movie into that one. I think it made it better.
Yeah, definitely.
That's really sad. I'm really sad that
Mm.
who was in that boardroom or that interview room saying, let's go with this title. No, that's too bad. Let's go with this one instead. Who was in that room? I want his name. I want him told off because that other name was better.
I'll tell you who wasn't in that room. You.
Yeah, exactly.
To tell them that it was a good idea.
No. That one.
You should be writing these movies.
No, just picking the titles.
Title picker.
Point
Leyonie
maker.
Chainhurst, point maker, and title picker.
You're welcome.
It's on my resume.
I feel like we could improve movies there. Just saying.
The trouble is they've already been made before we get a chance to decipher them.
Yeah, but you always have pre-screenings of films and they sometimes tweak things,
I'd
don't they?
love to be that person who got to see a movie before it came out.
Same.
I don't like
Little
this
baby.
point. This is stupid.
Your little
but I really
notepad.
like this bit. Much as my post-it notes. There's one note.
Wait there, 1 minute. Let me just...
There's one note. Another note.
You just stick it to yourself. What are you typing?
Yeah. Excuse me,
Notepad.
Mr. Director person, woman, lady person. I don't know who you are. I don't like this bit. I would improve this slightly because of this bit.
Yes. And I think you actually made a valid point that you predicted at the beginning of the film that Vince Vaughn would carry the film. And I'm sorry, but he did.
He did.
He did.
He made a pretty convincing teenage girl,
He did.
which is quite funny. But I also thought the actual teenage girl that was trying to play Vince Vaughn's serial killer character, she wasn't in it enough.
No.
She didn't
And she
didn't
kinda
get
just
to
went
see the serial killer inside of him enough, or like any kind of backstory on him.
I feel like
whatsoever.
I feel like he should have had conversations with people more. Like, he didn't really say it. Like, a lot of the time, he just like got to kill people, which is fine because that's part of his thing. But I feel like he should have had conversations with people about stuff.
Or like
And
just a bit of backstory as to what's led up to this point, or why he's killing these people in the first place.
Yeah, didn't really give you that, did it?
Just because obviously you're going to be rooting for the main character to have them swap back at the end.
Do you know what I would have liked to seen?
You
know,
just
when
want
they
a bit of backstory, don't you? Both sides.
When they were talking about the story about the butcher,
Yeah.
I'd have liked to seen like a little flash scene to him actually doing his first murders. Or whatever. That'd have been cool, wouldn't it?
Hmm.
Can we just sort of
More
address?
points.
Can we just address the ending? I mean, don't get me wrong. I know that, again they were trying to be different and everything. That's why they
Spoiler.
and that's why obviously they had him turn up at a house. But who survives 5 gunshots? Right, walks away and murders loads of people in an ambulance, and then just what did he do? Just did he drive the ambulance to a house? Because there was no ambulance around. Did he run?
Yeah.
And then he just turns up at a house and he's like, apparently he's the Hulk because that's how it works. Apparently,
Yeah.
he's the Hulk.
It's
all these
very
powers.
reminiscent of Jason in that sense that
Do you know what it
Jason
reminded
doesn't
me of?
die.
It reminded me of that Invisible Man where he'd been shot loads of times and he was fine. He was just wandering around.
Oh my god, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like it was
Yeah.
like invincible, but it wasn't explaining why. And I get that he had a cool suit and everything, but it wasn't enough to stop like a million
At the end
bullets.
of the day, they're a human being.
Exactly.
They're not got special bulletproof skin.
And this is what annoyed me about that. And I was like, I would have preferred it for him to, I don't know, see that he's got like a bulletproof vest on or something. And he apparently always wears it or whatever. Or just to see at the end of the ambulance, like the ambulance crashes or something, and then you see blood drip out or something like that. And then obviously it's like leaving it open, like did he die? Did he not? Did he murder them? Is he going to get away? But I think that it's like they were trying to end it. I didn't like how they just brought him back to her house. No scratches at all, no other ones either. And he just died. You know what? I like the idea that they were all killing together, but I felt like they could have saved that for either a number 2 or a crossover movie between Happy Death Day and this one. And that he could have appeared in that. And maybe, I don't know, they could have even said that the girl was the other girl's cousin and she go visits her in college or whatever, and then he shows up.
Yeah.
You know, I'd rather have that.
Yeah. And
I did think at one point in the film that he was going to stab somebody else with the knife that he already had with him and then transfer into the body. That would have been also been a cool thing as well. I just thought, like, at the end, like...
It just felt very rushed because obviously with the 24-hour time limit. Yeah,
I just thought...
They could have flushed out more storyline, just more bits.
I just think it could have been a bit better. And what was that like? Literally, it wasn't until near the end that he wore something on his face, but up until that point, even though he knew he didn't look like... Everyone started to recognise him and think, oh my god, that's that guy. And she obviously knew that she was the butcher in his body, but didn't make any attempt to cover her face up at all at the whole point of the film.
Yeah.
And you're just wandering around like, you're a murderer, you can't just wander around. And then they put some crappy mask on.
Stupid Halloween mask.
And you're like, what? Just put your hood up and a hat on.
Yeah, exactly. So out of 10, what would you give it?
So the film itself, I feel like it's a good idea. It just needed a bit more time and some tweaks here and there. You know, Vince Vaughn was still good in that film, and you carried that film. But yeah, I feel like that's praise for me.
So what are you giving out of 10?
6.5.
6.5. I think I'd have to agree with you on that. 6.5. Oh my god, this section is so pointless. Get it?
See what we did there.
Because it's the pointless facts.
Just like this whole podcast.
Okay, first useless fact. It's possible to turn peanut butter into diamonds.
No, it isn't.
Well, it kind of is. Because
explain it. I'm sitting down. Tell me it.
I don't know fully how. I read it online as this one sentence, so I believe it fully.
Oh my god. This is the first pointless fact I wanted to know more about and invested in it. Like, why did you not look this up?
Because it just seems pointless, because I don't think you could actually make it.
I would like to know if this is true.
How the hell are you going to make diamonds out of peanut butter?
Could we put a note to see if this is true?
Should we do one of the famous aerial pins? Put a pin in it.
Put a pin in it.
Put a pin in it.
Bring it back next episode.
And we'll bring it back next episode.
We'll bring it back in the Christmas special.
We will. We will extremely do that. Looking for a pen. Circling fact. Make note.
Aerial pin.
Literally ironic that I'm making a note that says make note. Fucking stupid. I'll just put make note of how question mark. Oh, the irony. Alright, second pointless fact.
Don't you make it too good. I want to be invested in it.
No, it's not. It's useless. Dragonflies have 6 legs, but they can't walk. I mean, that's so pointless within the pointless fact. Pointlessception.
They've got wings. Do they need to?
Exactly.
Does
they
that
land,
mean they never...
but they don't. That's it. They land on something. Whenever they want to move, they fly.
Is that why they're constantly flying all the time? That makes sense, to be fair.
Yeah.
Not really sad, though, the fact that they've got legs and they can't use them. Even, like, a couple of centimetres. Just imagine, like... Because sometimes I can fly, you can't get, like, positioned in the exact spot. That's what their legs would sound like if they used them.
True.
Because there's 6. Can you just imagine, like, trying to fly, like, exactly, like, 1 centimetre in front of you? Like, it must be really hard.
Yeah.
You just see one about the little tape measure. All right, Barry, go. I've got you, go.
Barry the dragonfly. Fucking hell. Right, third pointless fact. This is actually amazing. So the inventor of Pringles had his ashes buried inside a Pringles can.
That's hilarious.
How amazing
and
is that,
that's dedication for you right
Isn't
there.
it?
That'd be like the Doritos guys making themselves into a Dorito.
It was apparently... and eating him in a bag. God, he tastes delicious. He tastes of wonder and childhood.
Limited edition.
Limited edition.
One
inventor flavour.
you can buy the packet and it's only got one Dorito in it. It's a tiny little mini packet.
The Dorito is the shape of a man. Shape of the creator. It could be a woman, I don't know.
That's hilarious.
So apparently, I got a further point of this. I've just remembered.
I'm listening.
So that was his like dying wish that he was buried in a Pringles can. But
It's an odd wish.
what makes it funnier is that the son and daughter of the creator then had the discussion of what flavour can does he need to be buried in.
Did they give him a flavour as well? Was he a Pringle?
Do you imagine if they buried him with one Pringle in there?
Do you imagine if they made a mould and put his ashes in this mould and made him into Pringles and put them in this can, put him on the shelf?
And stacked him up and he was a stack of Pringles.
Yeah, and then...
Pringle ashes.
But they were, like, obviously odd-coloured Pringles, and just imagine, like, if they had, like, people over, like, or, like, the children's friends or whatever. Over there.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I'm so hungry. I've got nothing in. Oh my god, there's a can of Pringles there. They've been there forever, but fuck it, let's just eat them. It's fine.
You're eating Dad.
Oh my god, you cannibal.
It's okay, he's already dead.
He tastes fucking delicious though.
So they went back and forth on flavours, and they went with original, because how fitting. He is the original flavour. He is the original creator of Pringles.
This is very true.
Well, I thought that pointless fact was actually quite hilarious.
It's dedication to your to your invention right there. Imagine if you invented like something really silly like a banana holder.
Pretty sure they have those.
Yeah, I know, but like they do. I'm just saying, imagine if you were the inventor of it.
Oh god.
Like, oh yeah, put me in a banana holder. It's fine.
Put me in a banana peel.
Put me in a banana museum.
Imagine how
Sold.
many puns people throw at him every single day.
About bananas.
Yeah. You gonna peel me? Okay, so moving on to the TV section. So this week we binged the entire season 4 of Big Mouth on Netflix.
So easy to watch.
It was so easy to watch.
So easy.
So easy, super easy to watch.
That's a new word. Patent pending.
So easy. Patent pending. So easy.
So easy.
So easy.
So easy to say. So fun to say.
These episodes, they were 10 episodes, about 20 minutes each. And it's just dead quick and easy, especially if you like adult comedies as cartoons.
It's very relatable, isn't it, as well?
Yeah, it's kind of, I don't know, Family Guy meets South Park meets Rick and Morty.
But then whereas those shows kind of make fun of everything, I think it does make fun, obviously, but it kind of addresses those issues that are either current or you've been through yourself.
Yeah, with the likes of puberty, growing up in high school, secondary school.
I think what it does is it kind of shows you how you probably felt about those situations. Like, it's probably way more worse in your mind than you think it is. Yeah, and it sheds a bit of light on him and pokes fun at them. So it kind of makes you feel a bit more at ease with yourself. Yeah, like you were just silly thinking it was worse than it was. Yeah, it's not actually bad. Just all your hormones going out of balance, and you can't help that. It's your body changing. And at the same time, a lot of it could be just funny. Just look at it in a funny way. Don't take it so seriously because everyone's going through the exact same thing. I love how they gave all the inanimate objects like faces. It's hilarious. Just imagine if your house was actually like that. Like the shits. And the pillows, you mean? Like if your chair was just speaking, you're like, yes, sit in me, boy. Sit in me now. I really liked it though. Don't you think as well for an animated series, like, you still got those messages across as well, but I think 20 minutes is a good amount of time. Like, it's not too long and it's not too short. Yeah. It's kind of a good amount of time for it. For saying it's produced at Netflix as well. For some of the topics and some of the things that they actually discuss or show, even if it is a cartoon, some of the things they show or discuss, like really intricately detail, it kind of it grossed us out a little bit, didn't it? For saying that we're like older than the characters in the show. They were talking about very grown up situations, but they're still as it was happening as they were teenagers. It is very like, ew, I feel like they went a bit too far there, but I'm still laughing my head off at it. Could you tell me which point in that you thought it was too far? So like you're actually showing you visuals of children's genitals or like stuff like that. Oh yeah, but it's animated, isn't it? And like literally a shit poking its head out and it talks of someone's anus. I mean, they did that in Rick and Morty, to be fair. No, sorry, I'm thinking South Park. Yeah. And they made a whole thing about there being shit that danced and sang. So, I mean, it's not like it's not been done before. The Christmas poo? Yeah, Hanky the Christmas poo, wasn't there? So, it's not like it hasn't been done before. Yeah. Well, I feel like it's very modern as well.
So they've incorporated things like genders and
Gender identities.
gender identities as well,
Sexualities, that was
and
in it as well.
sexualities and stuff like that. It is very relatable.
I think it's that kind of age the characters are at where you're kind of figuring all that out as well.
Yeah, and I think if you are at that age, I think it's rated 15, so it's a bit more for mature teenagers and young adults to watch, and it's just hilarious. It really is stupidly funny. I think it's relatable for everybody out there. If you want something easy to watch, something funny, because you don't get a lot of comedies now, and they are still pushing the boundaries of comedy.
Yeah, definitely. I think they can push a lot further in animated series than they can in the real ones.
I think that's hats off to them. It's really funny, and the way that they poke fun at themselves as a show as well.
Yeah, they do. Don't
like
they?
At one episode was literally the hormone monsters watching an episode.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Wait, what was that?
Maury and the hormone monstress. They were on the bed watching it.
Oh yeah.
When Andrew was asleep on the bed.
Yeah, of course they were. Yeah, that's hilarious.
Let's watch another episode. Okay. Oh, look what happens in this one.
That's hilarious.
And then they finish the episode and like, oh wow, that was actually a pretty good episode.
yeah. No, that's actually quite funny. Are we going to rate it? What's your out of 10?
So season 4 in whole.
Yeah.
Solid 9.
Is it as good as the other series?
I'd say so, yeah. But there's just a few bits here and there. It's kind of like, because we binged it, it felt as though we were skipping out a bit more on, I don't know, enjoying it. If you were to come back like once a day, or
see, I don't know, because sometimes with series, especially when it's an animated series, I think because there's lots going on in each episode, you can sometimes forget what's happened.
You can.
Whereas because we binged it, we kind of still remembered.
It
from
was
the
like
one
a full.
before.
It was like a full story.
It's like a little movie.
It was a little
literally
animated movie.
Mini movie.
But I felt like maybe just it was frame of mind that I was in, watching it, just binging it, nothing else, not taking a break from it, because
breaks are for losers.
Yeah, I felt as though I was so invested. You got kind of to the stage where I was like, oh, I'm a bit bored now. I want to kind of watch something else. Because if it was like a 3-hour movie of cartoon, you'd think, oh, I'm getting a bit bored of this now. If you watched a 3-hour cartoon movie in the cinema,
I mean,
you'd get bored of it.
I can't relate, because just to think of it this way, right? Just imagine watching like a day of Rick and Morty. Would you get bored of that?
Probably not. But I like that way more than Big Mouth.
But maybe it's just you, because I feel like if you enjoy watching what you're watching, you don't get bored of it.
Also, in the point that it's missing from the 9 out of 10, I think it's some of the characters I'm not that fond of. There were some of the new ones that were introduced, like the mosquito.
Oh yeah, I'm not a huge fan of that one.
It was, obviously, that was like kind of the protagonist of the series this time round.
Yeah, because it's anxiety, isn't it?
Yeah. Whereas the other ones are a lot funnier, obviously the hormone monsters. And
I feel
like the ghost guy.
The depression one's quite real.
Yeah, the depression, the fact that it's a cat as well, I really related to that. It's just funny. And how they lie on top of you and smother you, and you're like, oh, fine, I'll just go sleep and not do anything with my life.
No, but like, I think it's genuinely like how they've done the character, like it's actually probably how someone would feel.
Yeah, because obviously this cat wants to sleep all the time, so like, oh no, don't worry about it, baby, let's just sleep all day.
Like I never had permission.
Permission
for what?
Depression.
Depression, but I can imagine like that's how it feels.
Like a big purple cat.
Yeah. I mean, does it?
Yeah, let's say so. So out of 10, what would you give it?
I'm going to say I like the series, but I always feel like the earlier series of something like this is always
because it's so original. So
yeah, it's always
you're coming back to the characters.
It's always better, and I think when they push it a bit more and more and more, and as the story progresses, sometimes it can lose things here and there. And I think just from that, I think for me it's only an 8.
Okay.
Just purely because I think when I first started watching it, it was just like, this is really funny, this is really good. And I think some of the storylines they've had before have been a bit better. Yeah. But it's still good, and I still enjoyed watching it. But for me, it's going to be an 8.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Still high though. So that's Big Mouth season 4. It's on Netflix now. Why you always in a mood? Fuck around acting brand new. I ain't tryna tell you what to do, but try to play it cool. Baby, I ain't playing by your rules. Everything look better with a view. Why you always in a mood? Leyonie, what's your OSD for the week? Is it the song I just sung?
Well, it is a bit of a jam, isn't it?
Yes. Now, what do you like most about this cover? Why is it your OSD for the week?
Because I didn't realise it was a cover before until like we looked it up and everything like that, but that's fine. I think it's just the fact that there's so many times that you just want to say why you're in a mood and just you want to make light of it.
Yeah.
And it just literally makes me want to play this song in the background every time someone's in a mood, like just say like, oh, why are you in a mood?
Yeah,
It's hilarious.
it's relatable. You could sing that little bit to
It's just
people
that
in
bit.
real life, couldn't
That's
you?
the OSD bit, that
Yeah.
bit.
The song in question is Mood by Fame on Fire. It is a cover of, I think it's called 24K Magic.
I don't even know. It
Something
doesn't
like that.
exist to me.
I think it's featuring Black Bear. Yeah.
It doesn't exist to me. When I find a cover that's better, the other one, it's like it just
The other one
disappears.
doesn't, yeah, it dissipates.
It never existed.
Yeah,
It just goes.
true. My OSD for the week is Mad Sad by Boys of Fall. Not to be confused with Balls of Fall.
It's the X-rated version
Or,
of that band.
Or Balls of Foy.
That was it!
Jesus, that was so loud in my ears.
But you did it! You did the face.
Was it?
Yeah.
Like that?
Wait, stop.
Is it that?
Let me take a picture.
Why is this the face?
Because it's hilarious.
Why you always in the mood?
The eyebrows point up.
So weird. You're weird, you are. Liking my eyebrow pointy face. The reason why Mad Sad from Balls of Foy, Boys of Fall, is my OSD for the week. It's just such a catchy tune. It's the first new song that I listened to on their album Distance, because the first 3 songs we've heard already as singles. So this one was the first one on the album that we hadn't heard yet, and obviously until the release of the album.
Yeah.
And there's a really nice, it's like a medium-sized punky breakdown toward the end.
Then. It's a medium-sized pumpkin.
It's a medium-sized pumpkin toward the end of the song. You just got to really listen for it.
Does it sing, or is it just in the video?
Sings as well. No, the pumpkin's on the drums going. Dun, 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 dun.
I see. Did they take him from Halloween Town? Did they just borrow him?
Yeah, they did.
Is there
Did you
another
not know-
door?
How did you not know this?
Music Land. There we go.
Music Land. I'm
It is.
there. I'm already there. Goodbye, world.
Music's not a thing. It's a state of mind.
So for all you pop punk lovers out there, you emo wannabes, these are the tunes for you. So how did you find the movie quotes last week?
Oh, I did. I was really good at these, wasn't I? I got all of them, or did I
You did.
get almost
No, you
all
got.
of
No,
them?
you got all of them.
Yeah.
You just bring your mic a little bit closer to your face.
Oh, my face close to the mic.
Either or, just stop talking as though you're in a different room. So once again, you have the option of me reading the quotes normally, or
No, I want it in the voice, thank you.
Hockey docky.
Get that method acting in.
All right, first one. Zone.
This is Sparta!
I've never actually seen the film. Like, I've seen the spoof of the film, but I've never seen the actual film.
Meet the Spartans.
Yeah, but
Terrible
it's
movie.
called 300, isn't it?
It's called 300, yes.
Yeah.
Gerard Butler.
Because I always thought it said zoo, because how it looks like on the poster, it looks like it's a zoo, not
Oh,
300.
the 3 looks like a Z.
Yeah,
It kind of does, actually, now.
and
now
I
think
always
about
looked at
it.
him thinking zoo, and then
I don't want to see that.
and then someone went, no, it says 300.
Is it a prequel to The
Oh.
Zookeeper? Or Zootropolis? What is this? Why has it got warriors in it if it's
But
about
anyway,
a zoo?
yeah,
It's got
so
animals in it.
it's one of those films I've never seen, but I've always seen the poster.
Okay. Did you like the quote, though?
I've
kinda
seen
know
that. I've seen that
part.
bit though.
I think everyone's seen that
And
part.
it's like he just like boots him with his foot
Into that
into
pit.
that pit.
Right, next one.
His little sandal.
His little flippy floppy. He's got his Nike as well.
His little
Or
socks
Adidas.
pulled up.
Oh, that'd be gross.
Socks and
What if
sandals.
they were wearing socks and sandals in that movie?
Dirty.
Dirty pigs. Alright, next quote. You ready? Cello, you've got a bass.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Again?
Can I have another quote from the same film?
Oh, I do
Or a
know the
line.
quote. I'm just trying to think of it's kind of the part around it. But I have been touched by your kids. I'm pretty sure I've touched them.
Oh, that sounds like really familiar,
Yeah.
but I don't know.
Shall I do the first quote again?
Yeah.
Cello, you've got a bass. Flip it on its side. Cello, you've got a bass.
I feel like I'm gonna.
People who know this and
I'm
love
gonna
this movie
kick myself,
are
aren't I?
literally kicking you right now.
I feel
They're
like-
screaming the name.
I feel like I know it, but I don't. I can't think of the
Come
name.
on. School of Rock.
Ah, fucking hell! Of course it is.
Do you want me to kick you?
Yes, please kick me.
Stupid.
Stupid boy.
Stupid person. All right, third and final quote of today's episode. I didn't want to have to do this, but you leave me no choice. Here comes the smolder. I'm actually doing the smolder for anyone listening. Was it a good smolder?
I'm trying to think of the film now, though.
Can you feel it?
I know it. I can feel it in my bones. I feel it in my fingers. I feel it in my toes.
Dogs within a 50-mile radius are now squealing at your voice.
Rude.
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 Rude. You're like so rude right now. I can't even with you. Come on. One more time. Do you want to do it again?
No. Let me think about it.
It's there, isn't it? It's on the tip of your tongue.
I can just feel it. I can feel it.
I didn't want to have to do this, but you leave me no choice. Here comes the smolder.
What's it then?
Frying pan to the face.
Oh, Tangled.
Yeah, there we go.
I could just see it in my head. Like, I could picture it. And I was just like, mm!
I was like, oh, God damn it. They're pretty good quotes.
Yeah, they were pretty good, to be fair.
Cool.
And that wraps up another episode of Past, Present, and Pointless. I've been your horrible host, Leyonie, Jembus, and I want to say thank you to my co-host, Alexander Carter.
Thank you very much, Leyonie, and we'll see you next time.